Elabelle, Georgia, a new battery plant rises, a joint venture between Hyundai and LG, promising jobs and billions in investment. But in September, federal agents raided the site in the largest immigration bust in Homeland Security's history. Operation Take Back America wasn't a ribbon cutting, it was a crackdown. The message: no matter how much you invest, you play by America's rules. The timing? Awkward. Just months earlier, the US and South Korea celebrated a $350 billion trade deal. Now the US was arresting workers at a flagship Korean project, the core issue visas. Korean companies sent experts on short-term waivers, not proper work visas, to dodge America's slow, lottery-based system. For years, this was quietly tolerated. The raid ended that. Hundreds of Korean workers suddenly found themselves on the wrong side of a new, hard line. The feel-good story of global partnership turned into a lesson in American enforcement. The US drew a line in the sand. No more unofficial workarounds. For South Korea, it felt like betrayal after a historic investment. The trust that underpinned the deal was shattered in a single morning. The world was watching to see what would happen next. ICE agents stormed the plant, detaining nearly 500 workers, most of them South Korean engineers and technicians. These weren't just laborers, they were the brains behind the project, now in handcuffs. The charge: working illegally on the wrong visas. Images of chained workers hit South Korean media, sparking outrage and humiliation. For Hyundai and LG, it was a nightmare. Billions invested, now at risk. The US message: investment doesn't buy immunity from the law. South Korea saw it as a slap in the face, a public shaming of national champions. The raid sent shockwaves through every Korean company in America. Suddenly, every boardroom was asking, "Are we next?" The rules of the game had changed overnight. Seoul erupted in fury, condemning the raid as heavy-handed and disrespectful. Hyundai isn't just a company, it's a symbol of South Korea's rise. The government demanded respect for its citizens and investments. Lawmakers warned, if the US wants Korean money, this can't happen again. Massive future projects were suddenly in doubt. The message: you can't cash our checks and chain our people. The raid wasn't just about workers, it was about national pride and trust. South Korea had just signed a historic deal. Now it felt like a target. Anxiety rippled through every Korean business in the US. The partnership was on the brink. Seoul made it clear: fix this or face consequences. Behind the scenes, urgent diplomacy took over. Both sides had too much to lose: investment, markets, and alliances. Within days, a deal: the detained Koreans would be released and repatriated, not prosecuted. The US claimed it enforced its laws. Korea brought its people home. President Trump insisted relations were fine, but doubled down on hire American. The crisis reframed as a paperwork issue, not a hostile act. Korea pushed for better visa deals, pointing to programs for other allies. The message: if you want our billions, make legal pathways for our experts. The crisis forced both sides to confront America's outdated visa system. A diplomatic disaster became a catalyst for reform. The raid exposed the tension between US domestic politics and global business. Even friendly billion-dollar investors aren't immune from tough enforcement. The old workarounds were dead. Risk calculations changed for every global company. The cost of doing business in America just went up. Yet the alliance held. Both sides found a way to save face and move forward. The US made its point. Korea got its people back and started a visa conversation. The crisis could have spiraled, but diplomacy prevailed. The lesson: in a globalized world, trade deals and talent are inseparable. The US and Korea yelled in public, but cut a deal in private. The investments will likely continue, but trust must be rebuilt. At a Georgia construction site, the world learned how fragile alliances can be.